It's Mr. RTBA, Mr. 214, Senor Dos, uno cuatro, Senor Dos, 14. Mr. Undeniable, Mr. D Boy can't touch me on my worst day. And this is TSB Unscripted. Do you understand me? It's me again, Mr. RTBA today. Shout out to my guy JJ Solomon. He had a big weekend getting his son into the University of Texas Longhorns. Shout out to his beautiful wife. She had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Amanda. Shout out to, and shout out to his whole entire family. You know, we'll be back and rolling next week to get it popping. So tonight I'm carrying this by myself. Do you understand me? And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, right? Well, this afternoon or wherever you at, early morning, we got a special guest. Man, this guy go way back, long time, years ago, right? And he's been in boxing, and this guy's one of the most influential people in boxing right now, who's doing big things in boxing, and his knowledge in boxing has set a precedence. You know, from where I'm at in the 214 to across the pond. Everybody, I need y'all to give him a big old mother. He's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Greg Hacket Boxing. What's popping, my guy?
What's going on with you, Ray? How you feel?
Oh, man, we feeling great, man. Hey, appreciate you first off for joining the show.
Yeah, no problem. Don't worry about it.
I know you stated that you got a show. Did you have a show coming up tonight you doing?
Yeah, we got the Sunday dinner. It's gonna be probably about like an hour and a half, 2 hours. We gonna do it.
And,
Me and Bang out of Houston. We do it every other week on each one of our shows, and then we do the smoke show after that. So yeah,
and
we
tell
just be
everybody
working.
and tell everybody where they could go find it at and where they could watch that at.
GHB TV is my channel, and then Fighting Words with Bang. That's my guy Bang channel. So we rotate back and forth like how you and your folks do. Switch it up.
Hey, bro, salute to you though, fam. Like what you doing right now in this boxing game, you know, people can't look the other way on that. You know, when it's in your face, you got to believe it right now. And your name is setting the precedence right now. Tell everybody first off, you know, a little bit about yourself because I know you as a former boxer, trainer now, and you know now you're doing, you've been doing social media and you be doing your podcast thing. You know, one of the great minds who know how to break it down. See, what's so special I like about you, you know how to use them different words. You know how to use cornbread with beans or greens with, and just make it sound good. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
I mean, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That was that's where my education come from with this. Been boxing since I was 12 years old. You said former fighter. I still get in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I fought twice this year. And just been coaching since 2012, the winter of 2012. You know what I mean? So I don't know, I do a little bit of commentating here and there. I had some commentating jobs. And then, I what it is I feel like a lot of people who start tuning into boxing got hip to me on my man YSM channel, Mill from YSM. So that's kind of where it caught flame. And then he kept telling me to start my own channel, him and my guy Chris, Hot Takes Chris. So, I ended up starting my own channel. And then, I push it from there, but I still do the YSM. I'm gonna jump on TSB. You know what I mean? I move around. I just get busy.
Nah, bro, your interviews on YSM be the biggest interviews on
Mm.
YSM. That's why I say you setting the precedence right now when it comes to the media. A lot of people are latching on to what you're doing. And it ain't just because you're a good talker. It's the knowledge that you bring with it. And you know, like Deontay Wilder say, seek it, believe it, achieve it. And your words, they spreading around the world. I think I looked on his last video. You did about 20,000, 18, 20, but you always doing big numbers on YSM, and that comes from them Philadelphia streets. And my bad about saying former fight. I forgot that you just had that
Nah.
fight with Brian Norman. Saying shout out to him. I had him on the show the other day. He gave me a hard time because I picked you to beat him in
Yeah.
that fight, right? So, and,
Yeah.
and let's get to that real quick. Do you think you got the fair shake in that fight? Do you think the right man won?
I mean, of course not, because his style and my style, right? Like he a brawler, and I'm a boxer, and he really ain't getting nothing off. You know what I mean? I felt like he really got that fight based off of hometown cooking, and I kind of expected that. You know what I mean? When they first said that the fight was gonna be there, but I was cool with it. You know what I mean? I knew he wasn't gonna be able to do it what it was he wanted to do, so I wasn't worried about it. But I kind of knew they was gonna do that. You know what I mean? I thought
Yeah,
they
because
go ahead.
as I was looking at the fight, you right, you was being slick, you was moving. You know, he was more of a brawler. It was close though, but you know, they gave it to him. Unfortunately, is that something? You know, I thought he said he'll never fight again, but you think you could lure him into a rematch? I know that you'll want to do it, but you think he'll do it again?
Nah, I don't think he'll do it again. Only because you know what I mean things are getting bigger with his son, and you know he got to focus more on that. I believe preparing for that fight took a lot out of him. You know what I'm saying? You can even see it in the fight after the rounds. You know what I mean? He was walking back to the corner real slow. You know what I mean? It just was taking a lot out of him, and I wouldn't be mad about that. You know what I mean? But he got a lot going on, so I wouldn't expect him to fight me again.
And I think that's another thing too that you know that jumped up because you is a fighter, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm. My man to be right back, y'all. Must have got a phone call or something like that. But we here. This is TSB. Y'all here with Greg Hackett, and we holding it down. You feel me? We just talking boxing. You know what I mean? Don't take it personal. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. You know what I mean? Slide over to GHB TV, hit the subscribe button. You feel me? You know what I mean? Greggy Cash on Cash App. Appreciate the love and support. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have to, but just in case you did, you know. Um, it's a lot going on in boxing.
Hey, Greg,
We here.
my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad.
No, I was holding it down. I was holding it down for you.
I appreciate you, but see, I think that's another thing too, right? Because that's exciting to see. Content creators, right? And not just a content creator, but a fighter get in there and y'all do it with other fighters. So is that something that you're thinking about exploring to do to, get some of these more fights? Because this was really, it turned into a high profile fight. I can remember when me and my dog, my guy from, my brother from another, JJ Solomon, we had a pre face off with you guys. That was intense. And that's what had us locked in to
Yeah.
watch the fight and get it. So is that something you want to do in the future, like steady do these type of fights? Because I know it's more money in doing these type of fights. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I mean, I guess, but I wouldn't mind either way. I mean, we fighting. You know what I mean? If it's a fight, I'm there. So you know, it's up to these guys. It ain't really up to me.
All right, now the reason why I brought you on the show, bro, is because like not only are you from that 215 Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, y'all got a guy down there in Jerron Boost Ennis
Yeah.
who you have been in the gym with heavenly. We see you on videos. We see you everywhere with that guy. And I was scrolling up my articles, and like everybody, you probably already had inside information. That's neither here or there though. But everybody seen yesterday that
Yeah.
Boost Ennis is in camp with Canelo Alvarez. And in my opinion, I already had Canelo winning this fight, but I thought him bringing in Boost Ennis, that showed me that Canelo is leaving no stones unturned going into this fight. Tell me
Yeah.
your thoughts on that.
I kind of feel the same way. I feel like with that happening, that tells me that Canelo has a great respect for Terrence Crawford. He understands that he's getting in there with somebody who is dangerous, who can, capitalize off of his mistakes, and will try him. You know what I mean? So to bring Boots in with that kind of firepower, you know what I mean, with his size, I think it was actually smart on Canelo's behalf. Canelo could have said no to the situation. You know what I mean? He could have easily been like, I ain't boxing him, or you know what I mean, whatever. But I think he felt it kind of interesting to get in there with Boots, because I feel like they both could learn from each other. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. It was an interesting move on both of their behalves.
No, I like it because I think when it comes to style, they similar. Like no fighter is ever gonna be the same, right? But I
Yeah,
think the type of intangibles that Boots bring, to the boxing ring, I think that could help Canelo out tremendously. Now, I'm glad
yeah,
we got into that, right? Because that's one of the main reasons I want to get you on the show to talk about Canelo versus Crawford, right?
yeah.
We know Crawford is a dangerous fighter. Crawford is an all-time great. I give him credit for that. Um, Tell me, what's your thoughts on this fight, and who do you think will be the winner come September the 13th?
I think first of all, I think it's a great fight. I'm glad they made the fight. It's just a big fight. I love everything around it. The thing is, when it comes down to the small things, right? I think people don't realize how much of a fighter Bud is. And by fighter, I don't mean style. I mean he really is the guy that's like, I'll fight anybody. You know what I mean? People I think people got so used to looking at Canelo as the bigger man because he's been fighting at that weight class, when really, if you be fair, they the same size. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's more acclimated to the weight class, but at the end of the day, they both men. You know what I mean? They both men, they both strong, they both in their primes. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going into it. Now, Crawford is the older man, but with lesser fights. Canelo is the younger man with more fights. He got a lot more experience when it comes to that. I think that could play a part, but at the same time, Bud don't look like the type of guy you could just trick him out of his spot. You know what I mean? You could just go in there and intimidate him, or you could just go in there and just do some shit and he'll fall apart. Bud also is one of them guys. When we see him get hit, he turn it up to another level. When we see him get in danger, you know what I mean, he always find a way out. We saw in the Spence fight that he can counter really well on the inside and things like that. He can go to the body really well. He's definitely a puncher. You know what I mean? Canelo's a puncher. I think that's why I'm saying I think this is just a great fight. I think it's just a great fight. I'm not looking at the fact that Bud never fought at 168 because he's not fighting a natural 68 pounder. To me, Canelo is not a natural 68 pounder. I think he's more of a natural 54, maybe even 60. But 68 is a different type of a level. We saw that because Canelo even tried to play around with it and go fuck with a Dimitri Bivol, even though that was light heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Those are more natural light heavyweights than 168s. The guys who are big like that. A guy like Canelo is a blown up 68. And that night Crawford will be a blown up 68. So I think it's pretty much an even match, to be honest.
So when you just stated that you said Canelo is natural. Can you hear me?
Say it again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You just stated what's the name? Stop. You just stated that Canelo not a natural 168.
Yeah,
He's been there for years,
yeah,
and he's been able to acclimate himself to that division.
yeah.
Uh, so you said that don't mean nothing. You don't think that mean nothing with Crawford not
No,
come?
no. What I'm saying is, if he would have been, all right, let's say this. Let's say Canelo was big like Benavidez or big like Bivol, then it would mean something. If Canelo was really that big of a puncher, he would have knocked Jamel Charlo out. He would have knocked he would have knocked out not William Skull, because William Skull had great legs. He would have knocked out Berlanga. He would have knocked out that kid. What's his name? Munguia. You know what I'm saying? Canelo's strong. Don't get it fucked up. He's strong, but his punching power isn't of a natural 68. He's just a strong fighter. Some people don't understand that though. What I'm saying to you, some people don't get. It's a difference in strength and punching power. You know what I'm saying? Canelo is strong, but he's not a natural 68. When you're a natural 68, you turn pro at 68 and you go up. That's somebody who's natural at 68. Canelo turned pro at 140, 147. Yeah, he was young. He was young. So I'll say he was more of a natural 47 or 54 pounder. You know what I'm saying? He might be a little bit stronger than Bud. I don't know. He might punch a little bit harder. I don't know. But he's not the biggest puncher I've seen. So therefore, I don't think this fight is like too far fetched when it comes to the skill set and the punching power and the strength. I think it's pretty even, to be honest.
Yeah. But you mentioned them other fighters like Berlanga, Munguia, and they were natural like bigger guys, right? So
That's true.
in this case, Crawford is coming up, 14 pounds, and we'll get back to the 14 pounds in a minute. I want to ask you about Crawford's last fight against Israel Madrimov.
Yeah.
What did you think about that fight? And what did you think about Crawford's performance in that
Yeah.
fight?
To me, it wasn't his best performance, but it wasn't his best because he was trying to focus on getting the win. I felt like he was focused on getting the win because he knew after that fight he would get Canelo or something of that magnitude. You know what I mean? Something big will come. Um, the thing is about Madrimov. Madrimov was a very awkward. A lot of people don't get it. Like they look at his record and they say, well, he's an inexperienced guy, but Madrimov had a whole lot of amateur fights, so that's where his experience come from. I think what it was with Madrimov, the bouncing and up and down on his toes, in and out on his feet. You know what I mean? Being unpredictable when he punch. I think things like that is what made it tough to fight Madrimov. So therefore, I felt like Bud was just trying to play it safe and get the win. You know what I mean? Could you hear me?
Yeah. Say it again. You said they
I,
look at Madrimov.
I said a lot of people they look at Madrimov, right, and they feel like, well, he's not that good, or he's really. It's like they try to downplay Madrimov and his style, but you have to see, the thing is, you would have to be in the ring to understand what you're seeing with a Madrimov. Madrimov is like, he got like kid legs, but he a grown man. And what I mean by kid legs, he's able to be on his toes for a nice while, up and down, in and out. You know what I mean? Jumping off of angles, and he'll fire a shot randomly out of nowhere. And I felt like that made it tough for Bud to be in there with him, because Bud wasn't sure what it was he was dealing with. What I mean by that is his strength, his speed, his style. You know what I mean? Madrimov is very awkward to fight. So I felt like that fight just was a tough fight. And I gave Bud like a smooth B as far as performance. You know what I mean? He did what he had to do to get the win. He played this smart.
Yeah. But and I agree with that. I thought Bud got the win, but I seen him move up. I seen his power diminish. I seen his
Yeah.
footwork not be the same, and I seen him get hit a lot more. With you being a trainer, with you being a guy who been inside that square circle and know it from the north to the east to the south to the west, am I reaching when I say that?
No, you're not reaching. The thing is, you have to understand what Madrimov is. Everybody can't see it because they don't see nothing special with Madrimov. But I'm telling you, what makes Madrimov special is his legs. You can't tell what he's getting ready to do. He has a very unpredictable style. You get what I'm saying? Canelo. Here's the thing about Canelo. Right? All right, let's say Canelo and Madrimov. How many times have you seen Madrimov fight?
I seen him fight a couple of times, right? But I knew about Madrimov and his amateur experience. But let me ask you this.
No.
Before
But
you answer your question, that
yeah.
wasn't the same. That Madrimov who fought Crawford wasn't the same Madrimov we seen. We didn't expect that guy to come in there and fight like that against
Right.
Crawford.
Right, but that's what I'm trying to say. It's not much on Madrimov to really study. If you look at if you look at Madrimov from the previous fights, he was punching on guys. He was walking right through them, punching on them. But when he fought Bud Crawford, he knew he wasn't fighting a slouch. He had a lot of respect for Bud Crawford. So that's what all the jumping up and down was about. The thing is, nobody trains for that. You know why? Because grown men don't fight like that. That's why I use the amateur legs. He got like kid legs. So to train to fight a grown man, to sit there and play chess with you, and then to go in there and then now you got a guy jumping up and down in front of you, it's kind of hard to time him. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to pick your shots with a guy like that. So what I'm trying to say is, it's actually easier it's actually easier to prepare for a Canelo than it is a Madrimov, because you don't know nothing about Madrimov. What I'm trying to say is
That makes
Madrimov
sense.
hasn't. What I'm trying to say is Madrimov hasn't had enough fights for us to really say who Madrimov is. We've been watching Canelo since 2011, maybe before that. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So we got it's so many fights you can go back to and watch Canelo and pick up his traits. You feel me? You can't do that with a Madrimov. You gotta go in there and just wing it with Madrimov. So that's why Bud to me didn't look his best with Madrimov.
Did you see the power diminish though?
It's
When
tough to say. It's tough to say at one fight. You feel me? Because guess what? You're not gonna knock everybody out.
true.
You're not
So
gonna
so
knock
let me ask you
everybody out.
this. I said I was gonna come back to the 14 pounds, right?
Yeah,
So you, as being a boxer who done been in different weight classes, right?
yeah,
You stated earlier that weight. I mean, not in the sense that you told me about it, but weight do mean something, right? And he's coming up 14 pounds. I
Yeah,
want to ask you, as being a former, I mean, as being a professional fighter still, will
yeah.
his power be the same? Will his footwork be the same?
Well, of course it's not gonna be the same because you getting in there with probably like one of the probably top three meanest guys in boxing. That being Canelo Alvarez, Bud Crawford, and then somebody else. You know what I mean? You not all right. Here's the thing. Let's think. Let's go to like college basketball real quick. When they do when they break down the seeds and the number one team play the number 16 team, they beat them by 30, 40 points. When the number one team play the number 18, they beat them by 20, 15. When the number one team play the number 16, they beat them by 10 to 7 to 10. When the number one team play the number two team, you don't know who gonna win. So the last thing you thinking about is a blowout. You feel me? Meaning a knockout in boxing. So I don't think power is going to be the issue really on either side. I don't think that. I think it's really going to come down to a chess match. It's really going to be a big chess match. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to go back to Canelo because a lot of people was critical of Canelo, in his last fight, and they saying he wasn't cutting off the ring correctly. They say he's slowing down and stuff like that. What's your thoughts on that?
I think Canelo been slowed down, but here's the thing. Who feel like chasing a 6'2" guy around the ring? Like nobody, like, okay, when you got a guy who's 5'7" and he's athletic, but you put him in there with a 6'2" and he's athletic, the 6'2" guy gonna win as far as the movement go. So when you got William Skull, he opened up his legs and he push off and he 5 steps away from Canelo. Canelo like, damn, I gotta basically like run to get to you. You get what I'm saying? In a fight like that, you're not gonna look good. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really holding that fight up against Canelo because that was a big guy. You couldn't just run up on him because you'll get caught with a shot. And at the same time, I'm not about to burn myself out chasing this big motherfucker around the ring. You know what I mean? They wasn't gonna give that fight to William Skull anyway. William Skull would have needed a knockout to win. So Canelo just like, all right, I'm gonna do what I can, and then I'll get to the next move. You know what I mean? A guy like that, he could make you look bad. He could make anybody look bad.
So with Canelo and Crawford, right? When I look at these two guys in that ring, both of them are the alphas. Like that's just who they are. You
Right.
know, mostly throughout Canelo entire career and all through Terrence Crawford career, they have been the alphas in that ring, and
Hmm.
they have known no way but to come forward and be that guy. Right now, me asking you this about Terrence Crawford because this world I have questions, and this is why I'm picking Canelo to win this fight.
Hmm.
I haven't seen, of course, Terrence Crawford is an excellent fighter. He know how to do everything, right? But
Hmm.
inside the square circle, I have not seen this guy be able, I mean, not saying he ain't, but not fight on his back foot as much. And being a professional, when you haven't did that as much and you're used to being the alpha like Crawford is, when we know Canelo is going to be the stronger guy, how do
Hmm.
you think that play out? Because we know Crawford is stubborn. That's what make him so great, right?
Hmm.
Because if you hit him, he want to get his hit back. And we seen in the past that done got Crawford in trouble. Obviously, he won the fights. But what's your thoughts on that?
Well, see, this is another thing. You know what you get when you fight in the amateurs and you fight in those tournaments. You learn how to adjust on the fly. When you get in those tournaments and you be in those big tournaments and you get in those Olympic trials and those Golden Glove tournaments and those national POW tournaments, the USA boxing tournaments, when you get in all those in the international tournaments, when you get in those tournaments, what you learn is how to adjust and learn and make the adjustments on the fly, right? We seen Bud have to box before. I seen him box against Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? Benavidez gave him a tough time early on in the fight. Bud started to figure him out. He ended up knocking him out in the last round. You know what I'm saying? With Earl, he had to be defensive. He had to be defensive. It might not have looked like it, but he had to be real defensive in that fight. He had a lot of respect for Earl in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Um, against what's his name? What's his name? The Cuban. What's his name? Gamboa.
Yeah.
Against Gamboa, he got caught early and had to make the adjustments. You know what I'm saying? This is what boxing is. What people don't understand about fights, every fight is different. You're not going to look the same. I don't care. Even if you get knocked out your last fight, that don't mean you're going to get knocked out your next fight. You know what I'm saying? That's just what people remember. So we see them go in there with Madrimov, and we seen Canelo go in there with Skull, and it's like neither one of them look their best, to be honest. But that's not gonna be the fight that we get when them two get in the ring.
So who the better defensive fighter, Canelo or Crawford?
I would say Canelo.
And why?
I, because Canelo take chances, but not as he see Canelo thing is he walk up to you with his hands up. Bud might be back here boxing you, you know what I'm saying, and jump in with a shot. Or he might be, like you said, being stubborn where he want a shot so bad he'll get caught with a shot just to get his shot. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on the night. To be honest, it depends on the night. And then it also depends on who you in there with.
No, I'm just saying if you look at both fighters throughout their whole career, who has the better defense? You would say
I'm gonna say
Canelo?
I'm gonna say Canelo. I'm gonna say Canelo because Canelo keep his chin tucked, he keep his hands high, and he just pressing you. He not really giving you too much.
So what about ring IQ?
IQ is tough. That's tough because it's tough because we never seen Bud lose, but we seen Canelo get frustrated with the speed of Floyd Mayweather. The speed really had him pissed off. He don't like nobody to be faster than him. He hate that. And that really pissed him off that night. And his IQ. So I would give the IQ to Bud. I would get an IQ to Bud.
Okay. Now when it comes to like IQ, do you think IQ play a part of everything, like from punching to moving to your defense? If you as a professional fighter, you as a guy who mind no boxing, would you say IQ has to do with everything?
Listen. The reason they call it physical chess because when you sitting there playing chess, you constantly thinking. You not thinking. You thinking the whole time. The whole game you scheming. So imagine you taking the mindset from a chess game and now you fighting. So now it's a physical chess thing. So you thinking the whole time. So yeah, IQ is applied at all times. Ring generalship and all of that is applied at all times.
And that was my next question. Who has the better ring generalship?
Probably Canelo. Probably. Yeah, probably Canelo.
So me going into this fight, right?
Yeah.
I really look at Canelo. When I look at attributes, I check them all across the board. Going into this fight, I'm not the judge and the jury. It's gonna be them two on that night. It's just me when I look at it. I'm checking the box. And in my opinion, right, I feel Crawford to win this fight, he gonna have to get his respect, right? But that's a dangerous game when you play on the inside with Canelo, right? So don't you feel, well, do you feel that Crawford would have to hurt Canelo to beat him?
Not really. He don't have to hurt him because we seen what he don't like. I spoke on that. He don't like speed. He don't like speed. He get mad. He get mad when he can't hit you. So it's like if the judges is looking for that, yeah, that's what he gonna need. If the judges is looking for that. But if the
But
judges is just being judges and they just watching the fight, he could outpoint him. He could be smart and go in there and outpoint him. But this is the thing. And this is what I'm getting ready to say is what I think. I don't care about what other people say. This is a man that's not scared of Canelo. I would say the last probably 8 years, 85% of his opponents been scared of him. They've been scared of him. They respect him too much. But I think is like fuck all that. We gonna fight. Like this is gonna be a real fight. I think that is gonna wake up Canelo in a different way, where we might see Canelo be the boxer in certain spots. Not for the whole fight, but in certain spots, he gonna have to box Bud. Bud might be on his ass. Because what people don't understand, and they keep trying to make it about weight classes. And that's fine. And that's fine if you think that. Because I done seen some of the smallest men knock out some of the biggest men, right? Bud, like it or not, is a puncher. He's a puncher. He got 40 what? 41 wins, 33 knockouts. That's a
I know. I
puncher.
think he got like 38 knock. Something. He got more. Like he got a lot. I think he got more than that though.
Got about 41 wins and about 33, 34 knockouts.
Yeah, something
Either
like that.
way, that's a puncher. That's somebody who could punch. You know what I'm saying? Canelo got 60 something wins and probably like 41 knockouts. He's a puncher, but he ain't knocking everybody out. He ain't been knocking everybody out. He been beating them up. But that's because they scared of him. Now you get a guy who's not scared. Let's see what happened. You know what I mean?
Okay, now you spoke on Canelo don't like speed, right? And when we go back to speed, like that was early in his career, and a lot of people still knock him for that early in his career. They ain't looking at what Canelo did now. They go back to Floyd, Aries Lunde Laura, and I think that's a little disturbing, right? Because like that was years ago. All the experience Canelo has gained now has made him ready for this moment. Would you
Hey,
agree or
Corey.
disagree?
Hey, Corey. When you was little, did you like people talking about your mom?
No,
And would you have somebody talking about your mom now?
no.
All right, then. That was years ago. You still ain't going for that shit. What I'm trying to say is speed works in different ways. It's speed, me hitting you speed, and me getting the fuck away from you speed. Canelo don't like it. What I mean by he don't like it is not the part when you hitting him, it's when he can't hit you. He get mad. If he can't hit you the way he want to hit you, he get pissed off. Now, okay, do you learn to be more composed over time? Yeah, you do. And has he learned that? I believe so. But we ain't seen him in there with that kind of athlete neither. So I don't know.
So will Crawford be able to outbox Canelo and beat him in this fight?
That we gotta wait and see. September 13th.
Okay, a better question, because a lot of people will say that Crawford is the better boxer. Can Canelo outbox Crawford? In your opinion, can he outbox Crawford and win this fight?
That we gotta wait and see. Cause I seen Canelo box before too. I feel like we gotta wait and see. Does he have the ability? If you asking me that, yeah, he got the ability. They both do. You know what I mean? But we gotta wait and see because all right, you ever you ever be mad at somebody and you be like, when I see him, I'm gonna punch him in their face.
Yeah.
But then when they see you, they switch the whole energy up. No, Ray, what's up, baby? I miss you. Damn, you like, man, I feel like knocking this motherfucker out. But they change the vibe on you. That's what it's like getting in the ring. Sometimes the vibe, sometimes you could train to kill something, right? You could train, kill. But then when you get in that ring, sometimes in your mind it say, no, go ahead and box. Go ahead and box tonight. Cause it be a
So,
vibe. It's just a vibe. It's something you gotta feel the vibe.
so what would this win do for Terrence Crawford?
I mean, he be one of the meanest motherfuckers we seen in a long time. I mean, he'll go down with like the super greats. I mean, of course, everybody loves Mayweather, so you got to take him down with Mayweather. But I'm talking about he'll be going down with like Sugar Ray Robinsons and all them. Like he'd be Joe Lewis and all them dudes. Like he'd be going down with them dudes. Ali, Mayweather. I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard. Like yeah, he'll be going down with them. Roberto Duran, all them dudes. He'll be in
Will,
that
Ca-
list.
will Canelo get credit if he beat Crawford? Will people give him his just due credit
I would give him credit because you're still beating a man, but you're not just beating a man, you beating a motherfucker who since they've been pro, he don't know how to lose. He don't like to lose.
I'm
And we
talking about, but
see
will he get the credit? Will he get the
well,
just due? Will because it seemed like everybody, like when I look at it, the uproar going towards Crawford right now. Right, a lot of
well,
people.
All right. I'm gonna say this. I would give Canelo to Crawford. I mean, I would give Canelo the credit. I'm sorry about that. I will give Canelo the credit. Me, I don't know what everybody else gonna do. I don't control the narrative nowhere else. But the reason everybody is talking about Bud is because Bud is the man who's walking across the tightrope. He the one taking the chance. Canelo's
Okay,
been
so
here before.
now I want to switch. I want to get to your guy in the 215, uh, Jerron Boost Ennis, right?
Yeah,
Because we need answers. Greg
yeah,
Hackett. This guy's a former champion from 147.
yeah,
He come up to 154,
yeah.
and he said he need 2 fights
Did he
before.
say that? Did he say that, or did Blue Blood say that?
Okay, did he not? It. But if that's not the case, why is he fighting this guy that's coming up?
Who coming up?
What's the guy he finna fight October 11th?
Uis Malima. He's world rated at 154 pounds. He's fought as high as 163 pounds. So he's not coming up. He's acclimated to 54, and he rated number 10 at the WBA, and I think he rated number 7 in the WBC.
Okay, but with Jerron Boost Ennis, we've been waiting. We know, we all see the potential. We see it. But this guy's almost at 40 fights, right?
Yeah,
And I say this respectfully, he almost at 40 fights.
yeah,
And we haven't seen one of them fights. His toughest fight is with a guy named Karen, right?
yeah,
And him fighting this guy right here, instead of going after one of these top guys right there, um, it's making the public give him a lot of backlash.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on the backlash he getting? Do you think it's deserving?
Listen, man, that's what's going to happen when people know you can fight. When people know you can fight, they going to talk like that. Nobody was asking to fight Boots. They keep saying Virgil, but Virgil always got some shit going on. Virgil always, if you pay attention to Virgil, Virgil always got some shit going on. And guess what? Virgil's supposed to ask for Boots because they was been supposed to fight. Virgil, he couldn't close on the end of his deal because he kept getting sick. He had Stanionis waiting for him for a year and a half, 2 years. You know what I mean? All the other guys, they had shit scheduled. Nobody wanted to fight. So we gotta fight. We gotta fight who's next. Also, you gotta pay attention to the narrative, bro. They saying he ducking, but then Boachuk just came out. Boachuk didn't want to fight. They say Murder Tazaliev was locked in the mandatory, but then now his mandatory is fighting Virgil. So everybody's all over the place. What's his name? Keith
Sundora.
Thurman. Keith
Yep.
Thurman kept talking shit, but never really wanted to fight. When they first mentioned Boots to Keith Thurman 3 years ago, he said he wanted $10 million. Come on, Keith Thurman, stop the bullshit. I mean, the thing is,
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what I think. I'm gonna tell you what I see. What they're trying to do is diminish his career by keeping everybody away from him. That's what I think.
Okay. So after this fight, because like me, I get it, right? I get it. Coming up a weight class, I'm not mad at him. You know, taking a fight to get acclimated. That's what he's supposed to do. Because, like me first getting in this game, I was so tough on a lot of these fighters until I actually got into the game and understood. People don't understand this is prize fighting, Greg Hackett. This is prize fighting. And that you got to do what's best for your career, right? And I'm not mad at him taking this one fight before he do something else. But Do you think the next fight will be big? Think we lost Greg Hackett. Shit, we can get him back. Think we lost him. Hopefully he come back, man. Shout out to Greg Hackett though. Very insightful. I hope he come back because we need to know what's up with Boost. Like, I get it. I totally get it. I get it. Right? I get it. Take that one fight. Just like I get what Tank Davis doing, right? You know, this prize fighting. Yeah, we want the purest of it, but if you got a chance to get that much money versus this guy, if you boost in this and let me be honest with myself and tell myself I need to get acclimated. Why not? Because then if Boots do something, if Boots lose in the fight, not doing what he think he should have done and trying to please us, then we ain't gonna care about Boots. We gonna and a lot of these fighters, like, y'all don't think about these fighters when they gone. If you ain't been in the gym with these fighters with the blood, sweat, and tears, come on now. He back. Oh, for some reason. Oh, okay, I see. There you go. Greg, what's popping?
Yeah, my bad, Ray.
No, you good now. I'm not mad at him for doing that because this prize fighting, bro. And if if he don't do what he think he needs to do and then he lose a fight, then everybody gonna look the other way and they gonna forget about him. Like, going into that, I'm not mad at Tank Davis for taking this Jake Paul fight. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Because if you was Tank Davis, you would do the same thing. I don't care about the purse boxing fans. If you got a chance to make this much money where you could set your family, you would do it too. But what's your thoughts?
So we talking about Tank, right?
Yeah.
So Tank is man, Tank is a tough case. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why Tank is a tough case to talk about. Tank has been Tank has been used and abused when it comes to boxing. I'm gonna tell you why. Tank wasn't an Olympian. Tank didn't fight in a lot of tournaments as a grown man. He fought in a lot of tournaments as a teenager and as a child.
Yeah.
He turned pro at like 18 years old. So before things got started getting really hot for him in the amateurs, he turned pro, and next thing you know, he fighting grown men. Of course, he's getting fed the kind of fights that that you take in the early in the career to build the fighter. But right as he started becoming a name a little bit on a prospect level, that's when you get introduced to Mayweather. It's a gift and a curse getting with Mayweather. The gift is you're going to get all the attention that you're looking for. The curse is it's going to happen at a speed that you just some ain't ready for. What people have to remember about boxing, they always lie to the people and say that the fighters are in control. That's a lie. That is a lie. Correct? Who do you know is going to spend their money and let you control it?
Nobody.
That's a lie. Even if somebody buy you all the equipment you need and they put you in the studio and they dress this shit up and they be like, Corey, man, do your thing, do your thing. And guess what? They gonna let you do your thing for about a month. And then after that, hey, Corey, how about you do this? How about you do that? Instead of bringing him on, we're gonna bring this guy on. They gonna start suggesting shit to you. And guess what? If you give any pushback on that, hey, Corey, we'll take this from you. You know why
Yeah.
they take it from you? Because they the ones gave it to you.
Mm.
So all Tank was doing was following the blueprint of those who before him, meaning Floyd Mayweather, Al Heyman, and whoever else was involved in moving him as a fighter. You can't even look at his trainers because they have nothing to do with the business part. All they got to do is get him ready.
Mm.
You got to remember, what did Floyd want that kid to do from the very beginning? What was one of his first requests? Move to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
That kid don't know nothing about Vegas. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how many times you vacation to Vegas. He don't know nothing about Vegas. He tried. You know what? I'm going back home. But then things get crazy at home because you getting more famous. Then he go to Atlanta. Then he go to Florida. You could tell by how he moving. He don't know what to do. He trying to get comfortable, but he can't. You know why he can't? Because he a superstar and he never asked to be a superstar. He just wanted to get paid. So fast forward to where he at now. He just trying to get paid. Why? Because at the end of the day, y'all niggas not gonna fuck with me when this shit over. Y'all not gonna fuck with me regardless. Y'all not gonna care about me. Y'all not gonna care about my kids. Y'all not gonna care about my family. So I gotta get paid, bro. I'm sorry. I'm doing the job. You might not like how I'm doing the job, but I gotta get paid for my job. And it is what it is.
I agree 100%. But to be honest, I agree 100% with what you said. But even if he came through all of that and did all of that, I would still take this fight, bro. It's no way nobody can convince me that Tank Davis shouldn't make this 20 to 50 million dollars that he's going to make fighting Jake Paul. You would be absolutely foolish to tell him to turn this down. And like you stated, people don't care about these fighters, bro. Look, look at the way they do Earl Spence. Speaking of Earl Spence, do you think Earl Spence gonna come back to boxing?
I think he will because he love it. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get somebody away from something they love. It don't matter what it is. I know people who almost died on motorcycles and they still jump on them.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I know people who love music and that even if they never made money off it, they still gonna sing. They still gonna make music. I didn't become world champion, but guess what? I'm gonna fight till I can't no more because I love this shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Earl coming back. Earl gonna come back because he love this shit.
What do you think about the Earl Spence that's gonna come back? Like, I think it's good though he took this time out. I think it's good. Yeah, obviously, he'll be rusty coming back, but
Yeah.
like mentally and physically, I think this good for Earl Spence to come back. And I also think this good for Earl Spence, right? Because I tried to tell Earl, a while ago, that, you know, everybody who like with him ain't for him, but that thing got turned into another whole situation. But I'm still a Earl Spence fan, even throughout the whole episode. But I'm with you. I think since he went through that, able to see the light now he's gonna change trainers and do everything different. I
Right.
agree with you 100% that he come back. But I think I was scrolling on my articles and I got to talk about the 215. I think I seen Stephen Fulton versus our guy down here, Oshake Foster.
Yeah, they gonna fight. They
What's
locked
it
in.
like? I know you from Philly.
Yeah.
I know you love Stephen Fulton. I know y'all close to him. But I want to get if you can't, I want you to take your unbiased cap off.
Yeah.
Like, who you got in that fight to win?
I think I think Oshaki Foster is a hell of a boxer. I think he a dog. He gonna get in there and fight you for sure. And I think he got, but I think it's spots where he unsure of himself. When times get tough, He get tough with it, but sometimes his decision making is a little off. Cool Boy, we seen him go against anyway and fought and get picked apart and get stopped. And then we saw him come back and get knocked down and not look too sure of himself, but realize I can still do this. Then we saw him in the Figueroa rematch and look the best he ever looked, skill wise. The advantage that I think Cool Boy has over Oshaki is he been in bigger fights. When I say bigger fights, that first fight with Figueroa was crazy. That was a rumble. I haven't seen that out of Oshaki Foster. I seen Cool Boy dominate Angela Leo. I seen him dominate Arnold Kegi. I seen him. I seen him do a little bit of everything. When you watch Cool Boy, you watch him do a little bit of everything. He fight you, he box you, he brawl you, whatever you want to do, we can do. Oshaki, I've seen that, but not with the same competition. And one thing that people got fucked up about Cool Boy is because they look at his record and they don't see the knockouts, they automatically think you could run up on him. He's physically stronger than what people think, and he punch harder than people think. Oshaki Foster, I like him. I don't think Cool Boy will stop him, but I think Cool Boy definitely beat him. 8-4.
This is an intriguing matchup. Shout out to Cool Boy. Shout out to Oshaki Foster. I know Cool Boy from Philly. I know Oshaki from Orange, Texas. Here in the state I'm from. It's tough, right? But I don't know. I don't know if Oshaki Foster is like technically he is skilled. He has everything, but
Mm-hmm.
technically he don't do enough. And I think and he is like his patience come into too much patience to where the shots don't get off. That's why who's that fight he lost to, but everybody was saying it was a robbery, but it's like your patience in that fight and not throwing as many punches. And when you got a guy like Cool Boy who done been revitalized, right? Because I didn't know what to expect out of this guy after that, that brutal, beating he took against NUA, our top pound for pound fighter as of right now. Um, he came back. And if Oshaki Foster, in my opinion, which I ain't seen him, yeah, Robin Conseco, which I ain't seen him throw more punches. I think I'm leaning right now towards Cool Boy too. And I just want to keep you on here. Like we got 8 minutes left because I know you got to go and do your show, right? Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Who you got?
I gotta be fair, man. Keith Thurman is a veteran and he knows what it takes to beat a guy, but this is a different type of guy. You gotta knock him the fuck out. If you ain't training to knock him the fuck out, you ain't winning. That's just how it go. You gotta knock. That's just what it is. You gotta knock Fundora out. So that one time thing, I need to see that. That's what I need to see. Otherwise, Fundora gonna win. Now, do he
Yeah,
stop? Do he stop Keith Thurman? I don't know, but I got Fundora for sure.
yeah, I got Fundora too. I just say the maturation that I done seen out of this guy, and like you said, you got to knock this guy out. And this new guy we seeing right now is a tall mountain to climb. But like like I said, I got Fundora, but I won't be surprised if Keith Thurman win because people sleep on Keith Thurman like he just this regular guy and forget about everything he did, and he only lost one fight. But like if I'm picking Fundora to win this fight, I think this guy's getting better and better. I think, I know it ain't cheating if you can make the weight, but this is highway cheating right here. For this guy to be able to make 154 pounds, him and his sister, like Bro, I'm not on here to call nobody weight bullies. Not Fundora, because he still got a lot to prove. But his sister Gabriella, who I love, right? She is a weight bully, bro. That's unfair.
I mean, not really. It's the way they built. They just built like that.
But
They built like that. The only one that had a little bit of fat on him was the big brother. They got I think his name Fabian Fundora or something like that. Big
yeah,
brother. He was the only one that had like some weight on him, like a little bit fat on him. But the sister and Sebastian, they just can get it off. If you can get it off and be healthy, I mean, they just tall. They tall, skinny people.
last question I got for you, um, which I feel was real disrespectful, to Terrence Bud Crawford. I thought it was really disrespectful. This is just me.
Yeah.
After Shiraz knocked out Berlanga, Turkey Al Sheikh say Canelo versus Shiraz 2026.
Right.
Was that disrespectful to you? Or am I reaching with that?
Of course, to fighters and to people who understand that you can't overlook anybody. It is disrespectful. At the same time, we have to stop acting like Turkey Al Sheikh is a boxing expert. He's not. He's an entertainment seeker. He's looking for entertainment. So he's just trying to line up his guy for the next bag. I
Yeah,
can't.
but Crawford and Canelo got a fight coming up. He
Right, right,
said Shiraz versus Canelo 2026.
right. So,
That's
but
disrespect. Like in my opinion, that's disrespectful to turn. In my opinion, with like that show. In my opinion, that showed me, if I'm looking at it, that who Turkey think gonna win this fight. He's just glad that he can make this big fight. Or am I reaching on that too?
no, you're right. He's trying to make fights, and he trying to get his young boy paid, what I mean? So on and so forth. He don't, but that's why I said what I said in the beginning. He's not an expert of boxing. He's an entertainment expert. He's trying to just get guys to fight. He don't care about what he's saying because he don't care about these fighters. All he care about is his mission, which is getting those big fights over in Saudi and just building his name. He don't care about boxers because he's not a
I,
boxer. He don't come from a boxing place.
I did say that was my last question, but shout out to my guy Tevin Farmer. He fought guy Floyd Kid Austin Schofield. Um, what you think the future look like for Floyd Kid Austin?
I mean, if they keep moving right, man, it could be bright because what he showed in that last fight, he's very explosive, and his timing in that fight was perfect. So if he can keep up the hard work, I mean, sky's the limit for him. You never know because he's a very big 135 pounder, very strong 135 pounder. So I don't know.
We don't make excuses in boxing, but Tevin Farmer had just came off two fights. Then he had that fight
Yeah,
90 days later. I mean, he got him out there in the first round, so you can't really question that. But do you think that played a difference for Tevin Farmer, a guy who had been out for years, come back and fighting this many times?
I think Tevin got comfortable with his performances, the fights before that fight, and he went in there comfortable and got caught. That's that. It happens.
Yeah, Shakur, do you think Shakur versus T.O. gonna happen?
I hope it do, but Tio don't want to fight nobody that's gonna make him think. Tio want guys that's gonna stand in front of him that he can outbox. He don't want to fight nobody because he know if he lose again and maybe two more times, then it's over for him.
This is my last one, real talk, because I really have to get this out. I know steroids is a big thing in boxing, right? And we can't put steroids on nobody back, or no, or, we can't put that jacket on nobody back unless they actually been tested positive before. But we had Victor Conte coming to our sport, a known cheater, the greatest of all time. When it comes to the goats, it's him, Victor Conte. He banned from all other major sports, but he was able to come to ours, right? And I'm not going to mention Any fighters, everybody in the well, I will mention any fighters. There's fighters who with them, as in Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, then Clarissa Shields, and abundance of more. But them are some of the big names. Do you think, because I ain't putting a jacket on their back, but do you think it's suspicious that they would go work with a guy like that?
If you know anything about boxing, the whole game is suspicious. Because, like you said from the beginning, how is it that he's not allowed to work in any other sport but boxing? And guess what? Victor Conti ain't the only one walking around.
No, I agree with that, but with him having such this high profile, why do you think top fighters will go with a guy like that and don't expect the media or the casual the fans to look at them and be like, why are you with that guy? Like, why are you with him? Like,
Because what people don't know about Victor Conte, he still does have education and strength and conditioning. He is a smart man. He is a very smart man, and he does have methods that would improve your performance without the PDs. He does have methods. So what people don't get, and I know people don't care to hear that, but that's the truth. What
I
else you
mean,
want me to say?
it may be true to that, but the thing is, he is a convicted felon who went down for that. And guess what? The main thing, none of his athletes, I think, ever tested positive from Balco. I think, if I'm right about that, I think he got snitched on, right? And this is a guy who came out and stated he still could be in the test. I just think it's very suspicious, and I wonder why people will go to that guy, because you tell me a bunch of things, right? And I'm like, I know a lot of dudes who sold drugs. They went to the penitentiary. We talk to them on the phone, go visit them. They say, man, I ain't never selling drugs no more. When I get out, I'm gonna give me a house. What they do? They get out, they sell drugs again, they go back to the penitentiary. So that's just my thoughts on that. But Greg Hackett, tell everybody your show tonight and where we can find you at.
Hey man, I'm Greg Hackett. You can get with me at GHB TV on YouTube, Greg Hackett 86 on Instagram, Greg Hackett 215 on X, Greg Hackett on Facebook, and Greg Hackett 86 on TikTok.
Hey man, shout out to you, Greg Hackett. Appreciate you coming on tonight, brother.
All right, my dog Ray, get with me.
All right. Man, shout out to Greg Hackett, man, coming on here tonight, man. Very insightful. Like I say, man, Greg Hackett, we go way back, where we had battles and battles of, going back and forth with debating and stuff. But one thing about that guy's the truth. You may not agree with his opinion, but he got a way, and he breaks stuff down like nobody else do, and I think that's why he at where he at today. And how can you not do nothing but salute that? Now, I will say I do feel like he biased towards his Philadelphia fighters, and understandable. Everybody gonna have a little bias, and then we all human. But I definitely appreciate him coming on. Salute to everybody. I see my dog Billionaire Boxing TV in the building. Salute to everybody who was on here tonight. Leaving them comments. We had Greg Hackett on here tonight. Shout out to my dog JJ Solomon, man. He can't wait to get back so we can get into this. Shout out to his beautiful family. They had a big weekend. Um, his son going to the University of Texas, man. Oh my God, right? You know, just everything. Salute to them, and we will be back very, very soon. But I want everybody, make sure y'all come check me out in about another hour or so. I know we on Spit Bucket X mine right now, but we just gonna be on mine. Y'all come on there about me, because I got to have this conversation tonight. About me having a discussion with guys, and they think just because you're the better boxer, right? Um, you will win the fight, right? And my thing is, you could come into a fight being a better boxer, But if that other guy beat you, he counted the way to beat you, so he was a better boxer than you that night. But that's what we're gonna talk about tonight on RTBA Boxing Talk. Salute to everybody. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, like all that stuff. Mr. RTBA, Spit Bucket Podcast.
This is JJ Solomon.
This is Ray Bradshaw, Mr. RTBA. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast.